monkey fucking a football.
Your love is rated X. That means you're extraordinary.
In an otherwise ordinary-looking gym in Atlanta, Georgia, Joel Seedman goes about a typical Tuesday, inventing fitness-related buzzwords and exercise variations. To his inscrutable mind, nothing is out of the ordinary as he basks in the light of his own brilliance, using random implements to avoid a full range of motion at all costs. To the unenlightened observer, he may appear confused as to the proper use of the trap bar, but unbeknownst to them, in this time, in this place, he is the only one who knows. Here, in the bullshit zone. What's up, motivators? Welcome back. It's Kevin, and this is Pure Bullfit. Today we have a special episode expanding on a topic that my esteemed colleagues have been covering lately, Alan Roberts over from Every Damn Day Fitness, and Big Papa Swolio from Swolnormous. Today we are talking about the increasingly dangerous drivel being published by fitness influencers on Instagram, or as Alan likes to refer to it,
Instagram is the place where fitness goes to fucking die.
Now, normally bizarre and often dangerous exercise selection is the province of rando fit-bodied fuckboys and girls. Here at Pure Bullfit, we are equal opportunity shit talkers. With no credentials, no formalized training, and no business doling out fitness advice to their audiences. But every once in a while, we find ourselves dealing with new heights in bovine fecal matter from an ostensibly educated professional. No, Jim, we're not talking about you today. Wait your fucking turn, you vacuous attention whore. No, today we have Dr. Joel Seedman. Yeah, that idiot under the trap bar has a PhD in kinesiology. Apparently, PhD also stands for bullshit piled high and deep. This man has 88,000 followers, and his Instagram is jam-packed full of this nonsense. Every damn post is a commercial for his overpriced book, which promises to unfuck decades of fitness lies, misinformation, and ineffective training methodologies by, well, telling you fitness lies, spreading misinformation, and introducing you to dangerous and ineffective training methodologies. And that is not just hyperbole. The so-called truths that the muscle messiah here is preaching don't just look stupid. Following these philosophies could actually get you hurt. And lest this video be confused with a lazy and simple ad hominem attack, let me explain why. Dipshit Magoo here is peddling a methodology that he calls eccentric isometrics. Now, I'm not sure what the fuck that's supposed to mean, but I'm not paying $300 to find out. Yeah, that's how much this shit costs. Both those words have actual meanings, and neither describe what's happening in this video. You see, the three major types of muscle contraction are eccentric, concentric, and isometric, and they have to do with the relative shortening or lengthening of a muscle through a range of motion. Now, the eccentric portion is when a muscle elongates even though it is still flexing and resisting a load that is applied to it. And for the squat, that would be to the quad as you descend into the hole with the weight, the first portion of the squat. The concentric portion is where the affected muscle, the agonist or the prime mover in a movement, contracts or shortens. And for the squat, even this variation, that would be as you rise with the weight. So what is this, eccentric, concentric, isometric? Well, it can't even really be that because the isometric portion is where the muscle neither lengthens or contracts. It doesn't get shorter or longer, such as with a wall sit, or if you were doing pause squats and you held position in the bottom of a squat. Now that's not really present here, so it doesn't apply. So what the fuck is this guy talking about? I don't know. Maybe he meant eccentric. Strange, unusual, bizarre, aberrant. That would fit. And it's not just giving bullshit names to exercise variations. The advice is actively bad. In this post, he goes on at length about how the ass to grass squat, or squatting through a full range of motion, is the root cause of every biomechanical issue under the sun. And he goes on to say that quarter squatting, because let's be honest, that's all this is a better way to develop power, muscle size, strength, explosiveness, and that's just factually incorrect. Working muscles through their entire range of motion for the joint is integral to developing strength and power and stability and the development of any muscle group. Working muscles through a full range of motion under proper load with good form recruits more motor neurons and stimulates more muscle fibers, which is essential for developing strength for the full spectrum of a joint or muscle. Furthermore, failing to do so with increasingly heavy or unstable loads is patently dangerous. Consistently training a muscle through a shortened range of motion fails to develop the necessary flexibility for that muscle group to bear loads outside of the trained range of motion. What that means is that you're increasing your risk of injury. You're more likely to tear a muscle that is not flexible enough to contract or bear a load outside of the range of motion that you consistently train it. Full range of motion is essential for joint and muscle health. And this idiot claims that this outright terrible training methodology will make you safer. This is not an isolated incident. He uses this philosophy in combination with heavy loads and unstable positions throughout his content on Instagram. And what the fuck is up with this guy in chains anyway? What we have here is an exercise that is intended to challenge your ability to stabilize yourself. And that can be a good exercise, and it's through a full range of motion. I was very happy to see that she was actually doing full push-ups here. Rings provide a level of instability. The exercise ball provides another level of instability. And this is not an exercise that in and of itself is terrible, but it's certainly not for a beginner. And he does mention that in the comments after someone points it out. Nowhere in his post. But it is my strong opinion that this is not an exercise well suited to progressive overload. And even if that's what the chain is intended for, instead of just to fucking look cool or something, it is a bad placement for the chain and a bad idea to incorporate it at all. If you're gonna train stability, fucking train stability. Otherwise, this gimmick guru bullshit is just putting your clients at risk. This shit is just the tip of the iceberg. It is representative of the bulk of his work, not cherry-picked worst of the worst. I'm not even going to get into the nonsense about bilateral movements with uneven loads that are somehow supposed to rewire your neuromuscular system and unlock your untapped advanced human potential. I'm going to get right to the point. When you are a credentialed individual, especially someone with a degree like a PhD, you get an automatic amount of credibility that is not afforded to a fitness influencer. An influencer, if they're fit-bodied, tend to get a certain amount of credibility because people see what they do and think, if I do what that influencer does, I can look like them. But most of us know that that's bullshit. That's not the case with somebody who spent tens of thousands of dollars and 7 years of their life on a degree. We automatically assume, most of us assume, that people like that know what the fuck they're talking about. And maybe he does know what he's talking about and just doesn't care and is looking to make a profit. But either way, that's exactly why channels like this exist. That's why guys like Alan Roberts at Every Damn Day Fitness, James Linker at Shredded Sports Science, Papa Swolio at Swole Enormous are having conversations about don't blindly follow these people. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're putting you at risk for personal gain. When credentialed people act like this, it makes it extremely difficult for honest fitness professionals. Well, I think Papa Swolio really captures what I'm trying to say here.
This affects people's trust. If you don't trust someone online, you're not going to invest. You're not going to trust their product because their product is an extension of who they are as a person. What we're seeing is just people fucking ruining trust, destroying relationships, and destroying the potential for other people to come in and do actual good work.
At the end of the day, the foundation of fitness is not complicated. You're not going to find the essence of what you need to know in a 600-page, $300 book written by this unmitigated asshole. And as you advance, you're not going to find anything enlightening in products like this. It's nowhere near as complicated as people like Joel Seedman want you to believe. Look, it's as simple as this, guys. Decide on a goal. Provide your body with the stimulus forcing it to adapt to that goal. Eat in accordance with that goal. If you want to lose weight, do more and eat less. If you want to get stronger, provide your body with the stimulus forcing it to get stronger through heavy progressive overload. Feed your body in accordance with that, a slight surplus. Do you want to have better endurance or cardio capacity? Challenge your body towards those ends. At the end of the day, our body adapts to the stresses that we put on it. Keeping our intake in control and in accordance with our goal is the route to success. And as you grow in confidence and competency, you will be ready to expand your knowledge. You will be ready to refine your training methodologies with narrow focus, best conducive to your goals. But you're not going to find those answers in a product like this. Even in some parallel fucking universe where this trash wasn't ineffective and dangerous, the vast majority of people still wouldn't need it. So how do you avoid the gimmicks? Well, here's a few red flags that you can look out for. They tell you everything you know is wrong. They tell you they have the answer and that answer is for sale. They use more buzzwords than real words in their pitch. And there is a suspicious lack of peer-reviewed research on whatever their innovation or training methodology is. Fitness doesn't have to be costly, but for many of us, that's the reality. Most of us can't afford to make a $300 mistake. So think critically and question everything. If somebody's program or body of work is not subject to scrutiny, it can't be trusted, and it definitely doesn't deserve your hard-earned money. Now, if I can save even one person out there from making that mistake, then I've done my job with this channel. All right, guys, that's it. That's the video. I'm Kevin. This is Pure Bullfit. Like, subscribe, and ring my bell. Come on, you know you wanna.